Hvad? Jeg sender live.
Ja, det kan jeg se.
Kan du komme ind, eller hvad?
Fordi der stod, nu står der live fra PlayStation.
Ja, så kan du komme ind
Og
og
jeg
kigge.
deltog i
This will test his metal.
Settles in over the putt.
Ja, den nåede til 100. 90.
In for
Og jeg
par.
kan se det.
Frank, the ninth hole at 452 yards with that water down the right is really a test of a player's driving ability, isn't it?
It is, and his ability to sort of take the shot on. Ideally, just something with a little bit of a fade, unless you can carry the ball 300 yards. And you can get it just past that bunker. But when you look at this hole, notice how that fairway just starts to open up. So Pete Dye will reward an aggressive tee shot, but also will punish it if it's wayward.
Kom langt,
Den
ikke?
røg langt.
Ja. Jeg er faktisk rimelig god til det her. Ja, faktisk.
Kan vi godt se.
Ja. Så godt igen. Men man bare ikke ryge vandet, det er lort.
Safely on deck.
Så ryge vandet.
So a chance for birdie.
Kan du se, jeg har minus 3.
Another solid approach shot.
Så det er faktisk rimelig godt.
Another
Det
birdie
er faktisk
on
rimelig
this
godt at
hole
have
on the
minus. Det
week.
er faktisk rimelig godt at have minus på det her.
Ja.
Fordi det skal man have i golf. Man skal ikke have plus i golf, så er det lort. Der kommer til at være dumt. Ej, du kunne ikke have rødt i den der. Jeg ligger på 13. pladsen, kan du se det? 13 ligger jeg på.
So they'll tap
Det
in.
er fair nok. Det er jo fair nok. Burde godt kunne have gået bedre.
Has it.
Nu ligger 14. pladsen, kan du se det? Du kan se, hvad jeg hedder.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank,
Så du,
we
hvad jeg
know
hed?
it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the
Er det
back.
ikke... Er det ikke sådan Patrick, eller hvad det var?
Ja, sådan.
Jeg kan se, så der er det, du hedder i virkeligheden, eller?
Ja, det er det, jeg hedder i virkeligheden, ja.
Frank, is this a
Herren
definite
hedder jeg
green
ikke.
light, the
Herren
approach
hedder jeg
at
ikke
par
med rigtig
410?
navn. Det vil jeg
Well,
ikke.
there's enough opportunities at
Yeah,
PGA
I
West
know
for the
about
long
Vancouver.
hitters. This
Yeah,
is an
det kan man
opportunity
jo
for the
godt.
really good iron players. This is where they have a chance to
Men
så
shine.
det er også
It's a good
et
iron
fodbold,
player
kan
will
vi
give
lige så
himself
godt
a dirty part here.
Ja, rigtigt. Se, jeg tror, den er ved at komme i.
All of a sudden
Den var
they'll
tæt
find
på,
trouble.
Well, that's how you play the game. Right
Her
there.
tror jeg faktisk for minus 1.
Tester from 4 feet.
Men Jan på, om jeg kan smøge den i den. Nej! Kun lige
Thought they'd at least pick up a shot.
Kul, mand. Nej, jamen, det er jo ikke
Birdie
særlig glad
looked
for
like a
det der.
sitter. Now par.
Men jeg er da glad for det der, han får et par. Men det er jo okay.
Really solid
Fair nok.
strike.
Jeg lægger stadig på 14. Hvis jeg hele tiden får plus nu, ikke
Frank,
også,
how about
så
this
er
hole,
røde.
par 5 11?
Hele sæsonen.
Long one.
Oh, it
Vi ved
is.
overhovedet, hvor mange der er med.
Anything over
Der er rigtig
600
mange med.
yards, only the longest it is the Bubba
Der er
Watsons,
rigtig
the
mange
Dustin Johnsons of
Der er
the
lidt over
world.
100
The
med.
other ones that can
på
get
det her.
home on a hole like this. For the other ones, even those bunkers down the left side are sort of in play. You at least
Man
have
skal
to give
virkelig
them
være
a
god
cursory
til
look
det her
off the
spil
tee.
her. Jeg har også fået
Nothing
holding
wrong with a
money
hole
der,
at
Emil.
a par 5 that you
Yeah.
can't reach. You can still play it as a
Det er ikke fedt.
3-shotter. And in some respects, you get rewarded
også
for
svært at
laying
få
up there
holding money.
because
Det er
that
svært at få
water that
holding
comes in
money
on the
godt.
left-hand
Det er
side,
pissesvært.
that's not going to be in play.
Ja.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush
Der er
carpet.
vind, kan jeg se.
Rich, if you and I had lives like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Really good distance control there and well to his strengths. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
Gå lidt over hovedet, tror jeg. Nej.
Frank, he took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Runde 2.
Now another clever, small par 4, only 363 yards here at the 12th.
A couple of different options here, Rich. You can lay it up just short of where that nose of the bunker starts to poke out on the right side of the fairway. Then you're going to be left with something in the sort of 140, 150 yard mark to the flag. Or if you want to get a little sort of greedy, you start to sneak it up there where it gets narrow. It's shorter, but it requires a better shot.
Ja.
Han burde godt kunne være bedre. Jeg kunne gøre sådan, så han bliver bedre i spillet.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's
Men hvor mange år er du inde i virkeligheden?
on the green in regulation. Making
Hvor
the
mange år
putt
er du
right
inde
here. He
i
is currently
virkeligheden?
sitting at 1 under for the round.
Ja, kan du huske ham, der stadig troede på det?
Now comfortably inside that cut line, the
Yeah,
former
no,
national
don't-
champ makes birdie.
Donau?
So that is a
Donau?
top 10 performance through 2 rounds, Frank.
It's always nice to know that you have a shot with 2
Som
rounds
den der,
left
som
in
der
the
skrev
tournament.
det der grimt til dig.
Ja, det er lige meget. Det tænker jeg ikke med over.
Nej, du har skrevet lang tid siden.
De har ikke skrevet mere siden. Kan du se, der er en, der hedder det samme som mig? Det er Patrick nummer 3. Kan du se det?
Det er noget, jeg ikke kan se.
Det kan være, du ser lige om lidt. Der er en kamp
Ja, det
nu.
godt bare.
Der er en kamp.
Ja, det kan jeg godt se.
Der er nogle flere. Det er fordi, jeg er et land, hvor man skal spille nogle visse positioner. Hvis jeg går ud nu, så bliver jeg deleted, så kan jeg ikke være med igen. Jeg bliver nødt til at spille den her helt færdig.
Ja.
Den her sæson.
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today it's live third round coverage of the Builder Challenge. First par 3 of the day, it is the fourth PGA West sitting at just under 200 yards in the card.
Det er på 8.
Ja, det er rigtigt nok. 8. hul, ja. Skal lige gøre det der. Kom tæt på der.
That's well played.
Din storebror må du godt tage med.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie.
Interesserer han sig for golf?
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking him for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect.
Jeg er god til FIFA.
It's going to hurt the course.
Ligger på 8. pladsen. Jeg skal bare have 9 minus,
Well, here we are at the fifth hole, a 535-yard par 5 for the long-range professional. Frank, certainly not a long test. What is the challenge here?
It's another example of great design by Pete Dye. He'll give you the trouble on the left on the tee shot, and then he moves the trouble to the right on the second shot. It's going to get you one way or the other.
190 yards now for this second shot.
Det er allerede foran, kan du se jo. Hvem kan få 5 minus en nybegynder i golf? Det tror jeg, der er ingen, der kan, vel?
On the green and in play. Good shot.
Hvad?
Det er så igen.
Hvorfor gik du ud af den?
Jeg fik bare ud af den.
Nå, jeg fik da lige en dobbelt. Jeg fik en minus 2. Så jeg. Den ligger på 4. pladsen. Det er ikke fedt.
Frank, I love a par 3 where you have to hit one solid golf shot. Anything less and you might pay a severe price. 255-yard par 3-6. What a hole.
No, you love watching somebody else play a par 3.
Men jeg kommer med igen. Nu kan jeg komme med.
Ja.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Looks like he just misread that. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
That's a good par there, Rich.
We're at the 7th now, 346 yards with plenty of water on that right side. How do you handle this one, Frank?
You've got to pick a target there. A lot of people think when they're laying up off the tee, and that's exactly what this hole is. You just blaze away at something down the left side. But if you're going to pick a tree, don't just pick the tree. Pick a branch or a leaf. Be more specific.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie.
Minus igen.
Moves into second place with
Han
that
ligger
birdie.
på anden pladsen nu.
555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank,
No,
is
it's
this a
Megan.
two-shotter or a
Ligger på
three-shot?
anden pladsen i
Good question, Rich. It
see
starts
it?
to shrink down by the walkway,
see
which is
it?
around that 330-yard mark.
Man skulle tro,
That's
jeg
the
spillede meget
decision has
golf
to be
hele
made.
tiden.
Personally, I think we tried it first. Because
Det
even
har
if
jeg
you
også
do
på
find a fairway
PlayStation.
bunker,
Jeg
then
havde
it is certainly a
PlayStation
layout.
2.
If you've got the distance,
golf hele tiden.
it's well worth the
Vandt bare
risk.
hele tiden på den, ikke hva'? Det var fedt, det var.
Ja.
Fuck, hvor det fedt, man. Det var så fedt. Vil din storebror så med? Eller hvad? Eller han ikke lyst?
Han er endelig slappet af. Jeg tror ikke, han gider.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green
Men så er man
light
da fri.
special.
Det var altid dejligt. Det var altid
Ja,
dejligt.
ud og går jeg lige igen.
Just a well-played approach shot right there. Only about 10 feet away. Good look at birdie here. Trying to make yet another birdie. Wow, I thought he made that. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
Yes.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
In for par. Finishing out the front nine with a pretty difficult par 4. Again, water down that right side. Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super.
Good contact, good result. Frank, this is the way you draw it up. This is how the game's supposed to be played.
Yeah, so far, everything going according to plan.
Frank, break down the second shot here at the 9th hole.
The second shot's a little bit like the tee shot. We know that the biggest trouble is on the right with the water. There's also a bunker between water and green. So keep guys enticing you to try and play the correct shot, which is one that just moves a little left to right towards the flag. And there is a little bit of relief. If you just miss it a touch, you're in the sand, not the water.
Ja, men altså, det kan godt være, så når jeg skal slukke. Altså,
You know
jeg
the
ser
difference
YouTube.
between good scores
Yeah.
and average scores?
That, right there.
Ja,
Our attempt
men,
here.
du kan bare stadig være live, fordi måske det live-filmen
No
igen.
problems there.
Keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Good third
but
round,
who's
Frank, and a
Yes,
good
the
spot
guy
heading to the final 18.
Ja,
Yeah, to be in the top five
Yeah.
right now, the caliber of this field know that your game is good enough too, and a legitimate chance of taking home the trophy come tomorrow night. This really is what all those hours on the range contribute to, this moment right now.
Så. Fedt, mand. Så jeg skal bare videre til næste game, så. Hvor er nu pisse langt på den.
Presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Today it's the final round of the Career Builder Challenge. Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the group. Frank, that's the biggest roar I've heard all week long. That was an eagle roar.
Yeah, for good reason. Not just an eagle, too. All of a sudden, back in contention.
Frank, if a player needs to make a big move at the close of the round, how could they get at this whole location and make a birdie? They call this turning home.
I think that's where you have to be a little more aggressive off the tee shot. A drive of 280 yards can certainly take those two bunkers down the left out of play. There is one in the distance down there, 350 yards, so even the longest hitters can still hit driver down there. You imagine pumping one down there sort of 340 yards. Now you turn a long hole into a driving wedge. That's how you get aggressive.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now we'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And anything, you just write a par down at the end of the hole. Don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
So just a formality here. Nothing wrong with that par putt. This is the second par 5 at PGA West of 600 or more yards. The 16th is a pretty good test.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. And from the fairway for his second shot here.
That's an absolute beauty.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, for a long time, the stadium course at PGA West was thought to be too difficult for the professionals. How'd that happen?
It wasn't really unusual. A lot of peat dye courses, when they first came out, with the wooden bulkheads, so visually intimidating. It was such a departure from traditional golf design that players, they weren't very receptive to it. They thought it was too punishing, and yet now we look some 20, 30 years later, Pete Dye is going to go down with the Mackenzies, the Donna Rosses, the C.B. McDonalds as one of the most innovative and one of the great architects that actually changed the direction that the game's gone.
Back in the late 1980s, the Tour Pros actually refused to go back to the stadium course. They signed a petition to get it removed as one of the host courses, a ban that effectively ran until 2015. But now the Career Builder Challenge will return to the rotation in 2016. Good lag putt there, Frank.
Yeah, the whole idea of a lag putt, sometimes you build a 3 or a 4 foot circle. Just try and get it inside that. Good putt.
Just a couple of feet. And he makes it for par. Well, Frank, hopefully the player has arrived here at 18 in a pretty good frame of mind. If not, you have to be thinking, oh, here we go again. Water left. I mean, you could shoot 100 out here on this golf course if you don't have your best stuff.
Yeah, this is another example of, you're right, if you've got the bad mojo going, this is not the hole you want to be playing. Water left, bunkers right. Somewhere in between, though, this fairway.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
What? Man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, I have to say, I've been impressed by the level of golf today. Really came out here with a solid game plan and executed.
And consequently, a very solid round. Continuing with that kind of play can certainly put you in the winner's seat.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Simply put, there is nothing like it in the game of golf. It is by far the biggest spectator event in the sport. We're at TPC Scottsdale in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Navalo. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
Well, everybody wants to know about 16, the famed par 3 here, surrounded by those skyboxes. Once again, that'll be a topic of the day. But really, this is a regular sight for the PGA Tour. So those of you that were familiar with the golf course, it's now changed. 2014, the designers Morris and Weiskopf did a massive renovation.
Well over 100,000 fans every day, better than 500,000 for the week. It's a giant party mixed in with a heck of a tournament. Now comfortably inside that cut line, the former national champ makes birdie. Action is really starting to heat up as we make our way toward the closing stretch. Let's get you out to the 15th hole. An important stretch of holes coming up here late in the first round. What are some keys to finishing the first round strong?
Once again, putting that ball in play, because if you can add 1 or 2 more birdies to this scorecard, it's going to look great at the end of the day.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Now the second shot to the par 5. Headed for the bunker? We'd like to have that one back. In the bunker.
Still a chance to get it up and down.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Well, Frank, you hate to miss the green on a par 5 with your third shot.
Well, they say par 5s are the easiest holes to birdie, but the hardest holes to make 4. Making a 6, though, well, that certainly sets yourself backwards. So tough up and down.
Oh.
Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Did the job right there. Well, here we are at the 16th hole, looking at just over 160 yards. Doesn't seem all that daunting, Frank. But 160 yards with 20,000 people, horned into a little stadium in the desert, that makes it a different story.
It certainly is. This was one hole, too, where Tom Watson would send his caddy forward. He would stay back by 15. His caddy would get his yardage. Watson would simply walk on the tee. His caddy would give him the club. He would not go through his normal routine. He would simply just head away. It was one hole that he never wanted to think about. It might look simple, but it's what the player feels.
Just misses. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. And you're not going to birdie every hole.
With authority, count it as a par and 2 under. Frank, when you get to the 17th hole, we always recall maybe the single most bizarre shot in the history of golf.
Yeah, everybody talks about maybe a hole-in-one at 16, but really 17. And the player was Andrew McGee. It was a good tee shot, don't get me wrong. But Rich, it needed an assist.
Well, the assist came from Tom Byram, whose brother Kurt is a commentator for the Golf Channel. Tom Byram was just minding his own business, standing on the green, sort of leaning on his putter, and you know what happened. Yeah, the ball hit Tom Byram's putter and then careened into the hole. So, 17. Made famous, a little bit of history with a couple of names to drag up from the park. Just in the first cut of rough, not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Good solid par right there. Par 4 18th, and Frank, if you are trying to win the tournament out here at TPC Scottsdale, this is all you want down the stretch.
It is. There's a short bunker there, obviously for the recreational player to respect. 3 bunkers down the right side protected, and that new bunkering situation down the left there to stop the attack of a Bubba Watson or a JB Holmes. Now this tee shot is going to have to be respected, and the green too is anything other than flat.
He has just hammered this drive here at the 18th, and now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here on the final hole. Good looking shot right here. On the green in regulation. Birdie chance here. Very long putt though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Top 10.
Shit.
So, one round in the books and a lot to chew on here.
There is. This is going to be a tough championship to pull away. The standard of golf, especially that first page of the leaderboard. Excellent golf.
This is EA Sports, PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Loader alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the TPC Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Frank, he took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Par 4 second hole, a little bit longer than the first, this one at 442 yards.
Yeah, they've added a new tee, changed the bunkering down the right side. Still a semi-blind tee shot, a hole that bends softly to the left side. The bunkering around this green has changed. Still, it requires a very precise tee shot. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good. Oh, that's fine. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Looking to make a move. This putt for birdie.
All things pointed to a good week. Birdie there, very important right now.
Playing some good golf. Frank, what's the strategy here off the tee at the par 5 third?
For the long hitters, they still think that they can reach this par 5 and 2 comfortably with a good tee shot. For the shorter hitters, it really is a thought about where you lay up that second shot to try and leave a good third shot yardage in. Still a good tee shot, though. That hazard down the right side protects against someone who's a little too cavalier off the tee.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5. His second shot. Get down. Lay down. Wow, lucky break
mistake right there, Frank. Yeah. That's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Frank didn't take notice of that name until right now, until that eagle.
And it started to send a whole ripple through the tournament.
Really nice mix of holes to start here at TPC Scottsdale. The 2 4s and then the par 5. Now our first par 3. Just a little over 180 yards, Frank.
Plays a little downhill, longer than what it once was. Green is radically different. It used to be deep, now it's wide. And the bunkering, of course, is visually totally different from what it used to be.
Great professionals, Frank. They don't fear greenside bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options. And you don't have to hit the ball first.
I'll tell you what, Phil the Thrill, Phil Mickelson could not have done it any better. What a bunker shot. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, right where you want to be at the midway point of a tournament.
Yeah, you know your game's solid. The focus is more on the leader, and that you can just go out and play. Excellent position to be in.
Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Welcome to the Stadium Course, TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. It's a masterful blend of challenge and playability designed by the team of Tom Weiskopf and Jay Moorish. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novelo for EA Sports.
The changes, Rich, they made in 2014 have just added a luster to this great venue that hosts the PGA Tour event each and every year. And it's a great test for any level of play.
Par 5 13, Frank, what kind of scoring opportunity is this?
Well, anytime you get on a par 5, obviously birdies and eagles come to mind. 13's been changed a little bit over the years. The split fairway's gone, now it's just one fairway. Water in play, bunker on the left side, they certainly define this fairway. And they've toughened up the front and left side of this par 5 green. The longer hitter, the high ball hitter, still will get a reward at 13. Second shot.
Tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Knocks it up on the green. It is about 28 feet away from the hole. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Frank, he might like this one. He might like... Oh, he's gonna love it, Frank. Well, yeah, birdie, Frank, and another shot closer.
Sniffing in the right direction.
At the 14th now, it's a par 4.
And a dogleg left once again. The bunker on the left side's been pushed out to the fairway to really make you think whether or not you can carry that. It's a lengthy second shot because it's going to play a little bit uphill. And this green is well protected on the left side with the 2 bunkers.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Good birdie right there and good score. How about 8 under for the tournament? Now at the par 5 15th, and Frank, there is plenty to catch your eye. There's also quite a bit to catch your ear. You can hear the roars at the par 3 16th. So how do you focus on the task at hand?
Great question, Rich. You know, you realize you're about to enter the stadium part of the golf course. But this is the last par 5 that you're going to play. We've seen eagles here over the years. We've seen many a player hit it in the water off the tee or water short of the green. Certainly one of the tougher tee shots coming in. No bunkers here to worry about, just that huge lake to the left. Find the fairway. You might just find the green.
And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie.
Bit surprising, misses the green in regulation here at the par 5.
Yeah, you'd think this is one of the easier holes on the golf course. So now just trying to avoid 6.
And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
And that par certainly won't hurt the cause.
Still some time. Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, what makes this so special is the walk underneath the grandstands. It's the gladiator coming into the Coliseum.
That's a perfect description, Rich, and that's why this hole is unlike any other hole on the PGA Tour. The atmosphere that the players feel on that tee, they cannot prepare for, they can't experience anywhere else. This is a once-in-a-lifetime par 3.
And when you look at it from up high with the blimp view, it sort of appears as though they've dropped Fenway Park or Wrigley Field right into the desert. And this is a sellout crowd. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Frank, 16 was fun. 17 is always exciting here at TPC Scottsdale.
You've got to be careful because that water that sort of goes around the left side of the green, if that ball's coming in with a little bit of hook, it's just going to keep going left. There's the one bunker you really have to focus on. That's the one in the middle of the fairway. 280 will carry that. Chances are the ball can run onto the green. It takes a brave man really to try and fly this ball all the way there. It's not really needed because there's always another 10 or 15 yards of run. Factor that in.
Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot.
Had every chance of going in.
Par yesterday, now for birdie. I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace, it's hard to be critical of that.
Doing what needs to be done. You need to make them from that distance. To the 18th hole now, and Frank, the original designers stepped in and they made this hole quite a bit more challenging.
Yeah, they certainly have stiffened it up. The longest hitters in the game, the Dustin Johnsons, the Bubba Watsons, the J.B. Holmes, used to take it completely over the lake down the left side where there's just one paltry bunker. Now there's a series of bunkers, almost like the church pews at Oakmont, that are littered down the left side, stopping that attack. You're going to have to respect this hole that much more off the tee. Find the fairway. It's still a short iron in, but this finishing hole is now a proper finishing hole.
Not terrible, but not his best.
An outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Yeah, that's a good putt right there. From that distance, he'll settle. Locked in on the read and the speed. good putt. So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with 1 round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.
Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Here at the TPC Scottsdale in Arizona, and Frank, when so many people tune in to watch this great event, they think immediately of the 16th hole with all of those fans jammed in. It's like Fenway Park inside the desert there. But it's much more than that little par 3, isn't it?
It certainly is more than that, Rich. The TPC Scottsdale is a great venue for a PGA Tour event. It's a blend of everything. Birdie opportunities, holes that are fraught by water, bunkering that's been changed. All in all, it's a great atmosphere with nearly 500,000 people that visit this during the tournament week.
Par 5 13th, chance for birdie or maybe even eagle if you're bold and brave enough, but also, Frank, chance for disaster here?
Well, there is. Water very much in play down the right side. There's a bunker down the left too. If you finish up in that, there's no way you're going for this par 5 and 2. Then it becomes a little bit of a zigzag mission. The second shot either has to be hit down the right side, just skirting that bunker in the front, or it has to be all carry. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
From a perfect position, ready to play his next shot. Strong wind here early in the round.
Not too bad. It's about 23 feet away.
He didn't hit the flagstick, but he still has a chance. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Getting set now over the putt. Putting up some impressive numbers out here now. 9 under for the tournament. Par 4 14th, and Frank, this hole packs a little punch, doesn't it?
Yeah, the addition of just a little bit more yardage, plus the bunker on the left has been pushed out into the fairway. Actually makes the whole play a little bit longer than its 490 yards. Second shot is a little bit uphill. No longer is there a bunker on the right side. That side of the green is actually open. But you don't really want to be trying to miss that green on the right. Should you decide to go at the flag, you're going to have to carry that front bunker.
Frank, that one is long, and it is straight.
Well, in baseball, that's a home run. In golf, that is a huge advantage over everybody else that plays the game. Can you imagine just teeing up on every hole knowing that you've got 20 or plus yards over your fellow competitors?
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich. It's no snack, though.
Frank, we see it every single round. These kind of putts determine whether it's a good score or an average score.
Yeah, and just like that, a bogey. And does not feel like he deserves it.
And he makes it for a bogey here. Great scoring opportunity here at the par 5 15th, but Frank, I'm wondering, as a player, is your mind beginning to think about what's ahead at that par 3 16th hole?
Oh, they are. This is really the finishing stretch at TPC Scottsdale, where you get all these swing holes. 15 is a swing hole. 16, 17, and 18, where so many changes in the score can actually happen. But this one here is all about finding the fairway. A good drive down here will be well rewarded because you'll have a chance to reach this par 5 and 2.
Oh, it looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
What is here ball like?
Right about 9 feet here to the hole. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. Seems to really have the touch today. Well, here we are at the 16th hole, looking at just over 160 yards. Doesn't seem all that daunting, Frank. But 160 yards with 20,000 people, horned into a little stadium in the desert, that makes it a different story.
It certainly is. This was one hole, too, where Tom Watson would send his caddy forward. He would stay back by 15. His caddy would get his yardage. Watson would simply walk on the tee. His caddy would give him the club. He would not go through his normal routine. He would simply just head away. It was one hole that he never wanted to think about. It might look simple, but it's what the player feels. What a birdie. Now just a handful of players in contention.
17th hole, Frank, and this one is really...
Rest of my round. This is the penultimate hole. If you make a mistake here, it'll carry over. It might cost you the tournament. But if you're a hero, it's going to carry forward to 18. This is why 17 is such a big swing hole.
Oh my goodness, that is on in one. Wow, what an incredible shot. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. Well, again, the fairways are lined with those huge galleries coming off 16 and 17. Now the finishing hole here at TPC Scottsdale. And Frank, what can we expect?
Well, this is a goodie. It'll play slightly as a dogleg left. Now, many a year, a player would try and carry the ball all the way over that water down the left side. But those new bunkers down there, it stopped the J.B. Holmes attack on this par 4. You're really going to have to play a little right of those now. And there's a couple of bunkers up on the hill to stop you doing that. So this is really a much tougher tee shot. 440 yards of par 4 just got a little bit more difficult.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
And what a great bunker shot. Frank, best bunker players that you've ever seen.
Most of them South African. Gary Player, anyone else, David Frost. Just have a great feel. A little bit like what we just saw there.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, a lot to like in this performance today.
Oh, it is. There's so many positives to take out of this round. Not just the possibility to win this week, but going forward. This is great golf that you would hold up against anybody right now.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. That's an absolute beauty.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, these days golfers are training like high-level athletes from other sports. Rory McIlroy, for example, has been using a guy by the name of Steve McGregor, who happened to be the trainer for the New York Knicks of the NBA.
And part of his training now is high altitude. The majority of the medal holders, for example, in the Olympics, or medal winners in the Olympics, actually use high altitude training. You know, you can develop more red blood cells in a shorter period of time. But, you know, golf, we've had so many different types of training from the athlete side. But you go back to the old days of Henry Cotton beating an old tire. Vijay Singh picked up on that. Or even the rhythm of Sam Snead. He used to count in the rhythm. It was 1, 2, 3. It was 1 at the top of the swing, 2 at impact, and 3 at the follow through. All those things are still very valid today.
How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Well, that even caught me by surprise, Rich. I thought par was in the bag.
This now for bogey. So a tester from 4 feet. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle. Even par, currently.
So, 2 over par for the round. Now to the par 4 third, 434 yards, and plenty of trouble on that left side.
One of the hardest tee shots on the front side. Water very much in play down the left.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Frank, this is one of my favorite shots on the course here at Bay Hill, the second at number 3. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Pretty good stroke right there, just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Boy, that hurts right there, Frank.
Yeah, he's got to knuckle down now, though, because, you know, we've seen it before, Rich. 2 putts turn into 3, 4. So make sure you can limit the damage here.
Not his best effort right there. That's a bogey, and now 3 over. And now let's go down to the action at the 4th. Frank, you know this. You can't win a tournament in the first round, but you can lose it. As we catch up with our featured golfer, they need to turn this around just to make the cut.
And turn it around now.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
Second shot.
Frank, tricky little third shot here at the par 5 fourth.
Especially if you don't have a full number, because there's just that little mound in the middle of the green. If you get on the wrong side of that, instantly you can be 30, 40 feet away. So check where the flag is. Is it front? Is it back? And then try and land it in that section.
Now comfortably inside that cut line, the former national champ makes birdie. Now to the 5th hole. Off the tee, Frank, how do these fairway bunkers sort of factor into your mindset as you prepare to tee off?
Well, if you watch the pros play on the Arnold Palmer Invitational, you see two different strategies here. Just an iron off the tee, give yourself a full shot in, or, well, if you're a longer hitter, take it over that bunker on the left.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Pretty good shot right there. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Frank, that wraps up another great day of golf here at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Always enjoy it.
Yeah, it's always a great test. Win, lose, or draw, you've played the King's Golf Course.
Couldn't have said it better myself. From all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner. For Frank Nobilo, until next time. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Its second-round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Well, at last, a birdie. Now to the 11th with water left, bunkers on the right. Frank, what's the key here?
Well, too often people just look at the scorecard and they go, well, it's over 400 yards, I have to hit driver. You don't have to hit driver at 11. Something in the fairway just short of that second bunker. And it sits up 6 or a 7 up.
Well, not this time. That one's in the rough. Might be a tough shot coming up. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Somehow that managed to miss the bunker, Frank.
Yeah, that looked like it was sand for sure. It's no snack, though.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking him for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the course.
That is a solid par putt. Teeing it up here on the 12th, 574-yard par 5, Frank.
Another one that's reachable, obviously long and straight. That rough down the right side, though, is normally very thick. Avoid the 2 bunkers, lots of contours and undulations around this green.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design. What a spectacular shot that was. He'll have a look at eagle.
Well, Rich, if there's something to be taken out of this tournament, then it's that right there. Eagle. They've been hard to come by.
Maybe you can build on that. Frank, this is an interesting hole. It's a par 4 13th, and it isn't necessarily a driver off the tee. What are the options?
Yeah, you break it down. 250 off the tee leaves 120. There's nothing wrong with playing the hole that way. You get a little over-ambitious here and run out of fairway. That second shot over water. Whoa.
Par 4 13, Frank, how do you hit this approach shot?
Rich, it's the first par 4 at Bay Hill where the water is actually on the right of the green, and that has to be taken into consideration. Just a little errant shot, and then you're going to be wet. So a little left of the flag, that's where you want to be.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. So maybe just a tough putt to read, Frank.
Well, I think you're kind there, Rich. 2 feet from that distance. That's the scoring zone.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
So that is the end of the second round. I can't wait to get back at it tomorrow, Frank.
We got a great leaderboard right now, Rich. So many players in contention. Golf course, there's enough blend of good and hard holes. Really, it's up for grabs.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. We're at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge in Orlando, Florida, site of one of the PGA Tour's premier stops, the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Always attracting a great field, and through the years, it has been the scene of just some championship play from one guy in particular.
Tiger Woods has won there an incredible 8 times. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Good scoring opportunity. Third shot here at the par 5. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Starting to make a nice move. Birdie and 4 under par for the tournament. Well, after that beast of a par 5, Frank, it is time to finesse one up on the green here at the par 3-7, just a little under 200 yards.
There's a big mound in the middle of the screen. Flag's above it, and you've got to be really precise. If it's short of it, you can use that mound as a backstop.
Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Birdie putt coming up. A par on this hole yesterday. Excellent read for birdie to move to 5 under for the tournament. Getting ready to tee off now at the 8th, and Frank, this hole has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, even though it's a pretty hole, Rich, it's a fairway you must hit because that second shot here is one of the toughest on the golf course.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
It's a rather nice shot, I'd say.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Just a couple of feet. It's a solid par putt. Final hole now of the front side. It's a 474-yard par 4. And Frank, you've played it before. What works best here?
Well, ideally a nice little draw off the tee. But the hole's quite weird because the tee shot shapes to the left and yet the green goes the other way.
Good contact, good result. The officials are calling that one around 310 yards. Frank, Tiger won here 4 times in a row from 2000 to 2003, and in all, he's won it 8 times. Why is his game so well suited to Bay Hill?
Bay Hill just suits somebody that can fly the ball through the air and land it soft, because these greens get very, very firm. And obviously they get slick, so you've got to be a great fast green putter. If you're long, that certainly helps. That sounds like the MO of a certain Tiger Woods.
Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
Just a perfect springtime day here in Orlando, Florida. We're at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Frank, how do you get off to the perfect start on this second 9 here?
One of the few holes here that actually moves to the right, so a little cut off those 2 bunkers. Either that, or if you can fly the ball 280, 285, you can take it over the right, or just an iron. Rich, now's the time to knuckle down. I know things haven't gone right up to this point, but really, this is where you can still get something out of it. Just give yourself that opportunity. You're good enough.
Beauty of golf, Frank. One good strike comes off the center of the bat, one good result, and you begin to feel differently about things. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle. Well read.
Don't forget the final round comes your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, so long for now.
Pladsen, det var sgu ikke helt godt, det der. Ja. Skriv lige den, der sidder med. Kommenter lige noget. Ja, gik han ud. Hvorfor tager det ikke skrive, mand? Jeg ved ikke, hvad det var. Hvis du ikke skrive noget.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Oh, can't hide the flag stick from that man. This one just requires a little bit of focus. And with that birdie, moving into the top 20 on the leaderboard. Frank, one of the things I like about Bay Hill is it requires you to hit clean, strong golf shots. And here's another case at the par 3 14. It's more than 200 yards.
Another one, really, you've just got to play it through the air. You can't play this like an Open Championship run-up par 3. It must fly it onto the green.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Walk away with the par.
Lækkert.
That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. We're here at the 15th now, and a big dogleg right on this one. Frank, what's the best route to take to shoot the low number?
You've got to look at that run out down the left side, which is about 320 yards. If you can stay short of that, then that gives you a perfect shot into this green.
Good tee shot, right in the fairway, and plenty long. Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch.
Hi.
You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. We've seen guys through the years blow the tournament right on this hole.
Yeah, if you get a little too greedy here, you try and make eagle. It's sometimes with a good tee shot, it's an easy 4, but a 3 brings 7 into play.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, you've played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
That would have been a real bonus had it dropped, but as it is, good putt. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Well, after that, birdie has to be feeling as though they're not out of it just yet.
They're not far away from the first page of the leaderboard. A couple more birdies.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
Without any doubt, that will be on the highlight reel later tonight. Excellent shot. Frank, how'd you like to be a rookie? You're going up against, at the time, the greatest player in the game, the great white shark, Greg Norman, and you hole a 7-iron to win a tournament?
Well, all you had to do was look at the expression on Norman's face as that ball landed and went in.
What did he hit there?
7-iron.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. I like the looks of this one. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
Well, I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf, and it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.
EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Alberta Classic.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough.
Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. You like to hinge just a little bit quicker on the takeaway when the ball is down like this?
No, when it's down, you've just got to make sure that you wind up almost like you're hitting a tee shot. This is not one to be dallied with. You've got to hit it powerfully, and you really have to focus on that club getting through the grass, past the ball, and out the other side.
Frank, you always talk about it not compounding the error, but here again, another shot from the rough.
Yeah, if you try again.
We just saw a player in total control of what he's doing. Didn't miss a green in regulation all day long. Has the birdie, now at 1 under par for the tournament. Now to hole number 8. It's another par 3 with some water, Frank. Only 150 yards. This is the shortest hole in the golf course.
But distance control is still very important here. If you can get the right distance, you could perhaps aim 10 or 15 feet left of the flag. You're only going to have a 10 or 15-foot putt. So just think of that. Water on the right there. You just aim a little further to the left. You can still make birdie. Ooh, chance for birdie.
Now comfortably inside that cut line, the former national champ makes birdie. Now to hole number 9, 501 yards. It's a par 5.
Yeah, we finished with the third par 5 on the front 9. You're just going to come through those sort of marvelous trees that define this fairway. Just avoid the right side. Something down the left side is going to open up the second shot.
Well, that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough.
Man.
Ball sitting down near the rough. He's digging in.
Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, rough.
That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Not close, but not bad either. That one's about 25 feet away. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Just a couple of feet. So with that, the score is now at even par. Getting ready to start the back 9 here at Banff Springs. And Frank, you better be ready on this 10th tee. This requires a good shot.
Even though the hole looks like it bends towards the right, the best access to this hole is actually a little draw off that tee. That's the direction of the green, so a nice high draw in here.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Good putt, and now 1 under par. On the tee here at the 11th hole, 417-yard par 4. Is this a drive you like to hit, Frank?
It certainly is, Rich, but it's a little narrower than what your eye first sees. And the reason why, there's a tree sort of another 40, 50 yards down the right side past that bunker. So if you hog that right side, that tree can become a little bit of a problem for the second shot.
315.
Well, it's going to take a good one here, considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point. I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Almost. Wow. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. For par. Well, not in contention, but in for par. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Navalo. So long for now.
Fuck, man.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. It's second round coverage of the Alberta Classic.
Ah, nice.
Looks good. This sets up well for a chance at the green at the 7th hole.
Second shot.
Tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
And it generates only 9 here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Frank, that's what you want to do. Good lag putt.
Yeah, they can't all go in. Even par currently.
Yeah, well,
you can see he's just disgusted with that effort.
Piss.
And getting ready for the putt. Frank, nothing really went the player's way this week.
Yeah, if this was motor racing, you'd say it's a case of having 4 flat tires.
Frank, you like this kind of design feature where you go from the longest hole in the course immediately to the shortest hole.
Certainly, golf giveth and golf taketh away. This is just minimally uphill, just a couple of feet, but you can see from the overview the design of the green. And that flag's on the right, it's a little bit of a longer carry, so just be a little cognizant of that. You don't have to hit it directly at the flag.
This is an 11-foot putt. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Never a bad score on the card. That's par. So we'll round out the front side here at Banff Springs with a par 5 and reasonably short at only 501 yards.
So very reachable because of that yardage that you just referenced. Hole bends a little bit to the right. You can favor the left side with a tee shot. It's just going to make that angle on the second a little bit easier.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
This is an awkward length. Yeah, that was just begging there.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, we haven't seen a whole lot of that, but no doubt it feels good. Frank, we begin this back nine with a real test. It's a 218-yard par 3.
And it's very easy to get lulled into the shape of that lake there on the right side and try and hit a cut in here. But that cut's going to work against the natural shape of the hole. If anything, a nice high draw.
Not terrible.
Den var lang. For lang. Piss.
Outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Ja, det kunne jeg ikke engang. Så tabte jeg her, mand.
Just didn't read it quite right.
Ja. Det var sgu sur. Jeg tror, jeg rullede nu. Svære. Går jeg, ja. Pis. Okay, det er godt til den her turnering her.
And consequently a missed cut. No chance playing in the weekend.
Det var ikke særlig godt.
There's more than one tournament ahead.
Ja, det. Ja. Jeg røg ud, mand. Semifinalen. Shit. Jeg loses, mand. Fuck. Noget lort. Så kan jeg ikke være med her, nej. De skal kvalificeret her. Den der. Og den der. Ja. Og den er der kommer nu. Er du 3 spil? 4 spil? 4 spil? 5 spil? 5 spil? 5 spil? 5 spil bliver det skid, mand. Fuck, noget lort. Ja. Og den stik starter på semikopter. Ja.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We are located in spectacular Alberta, Canada, in the Canadian Rockies, getting ready to kick off the round here at Banff Springs Golf Course.
The course today, it will play as a par 71, a little under 7,000 yards in total length, designed by the architect Stanley Thompson all the way back in 1928. The original 18-hole course was later complemented by the construction of an adjoining 9 holes, which was designed by Cornish and Robinson. That opened in 1989, thereby completing this marvelous championship layout.
Great history and great views. Let's take it down to the tee. We're excited to call the action today out on the course for you.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, Ricky grew up as a motocross jumper in California. He always said it's a lot like a golf shot, that you sort of step up, figure out what you're going to do, and then just hit it. And same thing with a motorcycle jump. You look at it a few times, you rev it up, and you go flying, and you deal with the consequences after that.
Yeah, it's just like his golf game. He likes to...
Hello again, everyone. This is Rich Lerner here to walk you through some lessons on how to play EA Sports Rory McIlroy PGA Tour. We'll start with lessons that teach you how to set up different shots. Let's get started.
Jeg skulle pokalen nu. Jeg mistede pokalen der. Pokalen. Fedt. Hello.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live first-round coverage of the International Challenge.
Hvad er det, jeg laver? Det var en fejl, det ikke går der.
This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Well, this golf course goes back a long ways, to 1878 in fact. We're at Royal Troon Golf Club in Scotland. Rich Schroeder alongside Frank Nobilo. And Frank, where are some of the scoring opportunities out here?
Well, normally when the Open Championships played, the breeze comes out of the sort of northwest, which means those first few holes are played down breeze and the closing stretch is played into the breeze. So really you sort of make your hay on the way out and then you hang on for dear life on the way in. That doesn't really change because you have some rather short par fours to start.
This one is definitely heading left. Looks like it is going to end up in the rough. Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
Good-looking shot right here. And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Locked in on the read and the speed.
Oh, good start.
Shouldn't be a problem here.
Great start.
Frank, as we step to the tee here at the par 4 second hole, just 391 yards, but a classic case on links golf where the bunkering here is just so much different than a classic American layout.
And it's also where a change of strategy will certainly help. Remember, the ball's going to run much further here in Scotland than what it will in America. So you can use a shorter club and let that ball to run out to the normal distance you would hit it, perhaps with 2 or 3 clubs more. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Second shot coming out of the rough here. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. This is a cross-country special. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
He's going to beat himself up on the way to the next tee. You don't miss those putts. Now a 7-footer. Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
A good effort, a good par putt. Back to the tee box here on hole number 3, and there are a few club selection decisions that come into play on this first shot, Frank.
There is. The reason why, there's a burn that cuts through from the 16th hole all the way across the golf course through the middle of the 3rd. And that stops, or should I say starts, at about 285 yards. That really has to be at the forefront of your mind.
So, Frank, a perfect lie right here. And now this gives him a chance to take the next step, which is get after this hole location.
Yeah, so many more options now. And basically, it's just going to come down to club selection now. This is absolutely perfect. This is one where he can get a reward from.
That is a beauty, a real beauty. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. It's no snap, though.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole. Just a little bit of a misread there. We surmise.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. He's made it. Rich Lerner back with you here at the 4th hole at Royal Troon, and this is a hole, Frank, that offers up a real scoring opportunity at par 5, first one of the round.
Yeah, it's the last really easy hole you get at this opening start. 3 bunkers, 2 on the left, 1 on the right, but you can easily carry that one on the right, especially with any helping breeze.
What a tremendous display of power and precision.
There's something about a well-hit shot.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. And the ball settles on the green 26 feet away.
Second shot. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Well, we'd like to have that one back in the bunker.
Still a chance to get it up and down.
You know how to play this shot, Frank, right? You keep your chin up, you look down your nose at the ball, you have to pick it cleanly, and keep your... Oh, my goodness, he just made that. I cannot believe it.
I was thinking he might get it close. And just a great shot.
At the par 3 fifth, ready to get this hole started.
Prevailing breeze once again should be coming from the water, which is on the right. That makes that tee shot a little bit more difficult because it pushes the ball to those 3 bunkers on the left side.
Missed that one, and it is going towards the rough. Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, who you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was, they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or 2. Aim the club at that and made sure they followed through.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Second from an excellent lie. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Setting up for an approach shot here. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Beautifully done. Nice birdie. So a tester from 4 feet. Good putt. Frank, we're moving inland now, and what are we facing here at this par 4 7th hole?
Just a dog leg to the right. Ideally, just a little cut off the tee.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Oh, look out, Frank. Where's this one headed?
This is definitely rough, Rich, off the tee.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the cause.
This for par. Well, no problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Frank, here we are. All of 123 yards. It's the famous postage stamp hole.
It sits up there nice and proud. It's protected by 5 bunkers, but avoid the ones on the right. They're the deepest, all the way down on that right side.
That's well played. Oh, good look at birdie. Has a shot of about 135 yards. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot.
Oh, painful lip out. This is a good putt.
Absolutely can't believe it. I thought that thing was stone dead in the center. Like Ben Crenshaw right there, just so smooth.
I've played before.
Frank, the ninth hole, 423 yards, not especially long by today's standards. You looking to make birdie here, or you happy to make a par and move on to the back nine?
Well, there's certainly a chance for birdie. One of the hardest things about the ninth is the raised green. And it's sort of, there's two tiers here, just the top level. If that pin is on the top level, then you would certainly walk away with 4 very happily.
Good contact, good result.
Well, it's going to take a good one here, considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. 10-foot putt left. In the hole. And a birdie. 10th hole, Frank. Blind tee shot.
Yeah, the shape's a little to the left. Biggest problem here is the run out, but that's a good 320 yards down there. So somehow get that tee shot at 260, 300 mark is ideal.
Beautiful looking shot right here. In the fairway here at the 10th. Nice way to start off the back nine. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That will be a great look at birdie. Second shot. Good look at the green. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
These putts keep the round together.
A good solid stroke there. No sign of nerves on that.
Frank, you come to an Open Championship, and you expect to hear the term gorse. You see it here on the 11th hole. If you do end up in the gorse, what can you possibly do to get out?
Well, anything you can. A lot of the times it's an unplayable lie, but if you remember back 2004, Ernie Els tried to play a ball when it was suspended about 3 feet off the ground and managed to flick it out of the sort of the thorny gorse.
Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Frank, can one small tweak from an instructor lead to a big turnaround?
With the right player, yeah. You just want to hear the right message. It's like anyone in life. You just want to be pointed in the right direction.
The birdie. Ooh, that hurts. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. He's made it. Frank, how do you size up the 12th hole here at Royal Truman?
Well, first look at 430 yards, you'd think it'd be a rather easy par 4. But that's not really the issue. The issue is gorse right and left. It's fine.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there. About 315 yards.
Rich, I remember back in 1997 playing alongside Tiger Woods in the 3rd round. You know what he shot that day?
It was low. It was a great round, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the lowest round he's ever shot in the Open Championship. 64 to be precise. Justin Leonard went on to win the Open Championship that year.
Birdie try up next. And this attempt will be from about 130 yards. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. And getting ready for the putt. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. 8-foot putt here. So early on the backside here at the 12th hole, missed opportunity. And that's in for a par. Frank, on paper, 13 seems pretty straightforward, but it's not that simple, is it?
No, very stringent tee shot. Gorse right and left, plus a little sort of mound with some rough on down the right side. So really, you've got to hit the ball down, not just the fairway, but the left side of the fairway.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin.
Oh, I liked that.
Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Here's to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
This is for his birdie. Good putt. Clean this up with a tap. Always love to hear the sound at the bottom of the cup. Heading for home now, Frank, the par 3 14, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second 2 that you really worry about that narrow the front of the screen up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Oh, I thought he had that. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Right now at the 15th, and how hard is this par 4?
The key really is to get the ball on the fairway here. Avoid those 3 bunkers, because this is one of the flattest greens on the golf course. Get the ball on the green here. Any putt's makeable.
It's a good spot right there.
Center cut. This has exploded off the club face.
Frank, can you recall a situation where before an important round, an instructor gave you one small tweak, maybe flare your left toe out, or just shift a little bit of the weight onto the back foot? So the instructor gave you that one small bit of advice, and it made a huge difference?
Yeah, the list is too long, Rich, and it's normally just someone that you've trusted over the years, and we all make just little bad habits. Sometimes you're stooped over a little bit more than normal. You're not standing tall enough. The ball is too far back in your stance or too far forward. You're making a funny little move, or your grip is different. It's always the little things that add up to the big problem.
Frank, out of the rough, best to swing a little bit easier or get after it with all you have?
Well, a little bit in between. Obviously, it's going to require a little bit of strength to make sure that club keeps going through, but it's still the planning of the shot. Once again, check short. Is there anything I have to carry? And even remember, there's always the option of just simply pitching the ball down the fairway and taking your medicine.
That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
Oh, Man, you can't miss him from that distance. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Tough break. You can see the look of disgust, and it's justifiable. It's a double bogey. The back nine here at Royal Troon has only one par 5. Here it is, Frank.
At 542 yards, you'd think it's reachable, but that burn cuts in at 280 yards, so it means you have to lay back. But I remember back in 1997, playing alongside Tiger Woods, and he still managed to get it onto the green.
Unfortunately, that ball is wet. Now on to his third shot after the last one went into the water. Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Headed for the bunker, I think.
Rub the shamrock. Got away with getting in the bunker there.
This is a cross-country special. Looks like he just misread that. This is a putt for birdie from long range. Probably would be happy to get down in 2. Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
17th here at Royal Troon. This is a very strong par 3, isn't it, Frank?
Well, if rabbits have teeth, then this is why it's called rabbit. Very, very strong par 3. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Not a huge miss, Frank, but did lose this just a little to the right.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to catch a piece of the green, though.
And the ball settles on the green about 26 feet away.
Yeah, not the easiest of putts coming up.
Frank, that was a pretty tough lie out of the rough there.
Yeah, made that actually a little easier than what it really is. It would have been too easy to try and bite off more than you can chew. So give him a pat on the back for that.
Back in the fairway. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Frank, now the final hole here at Royal Troon, and when you think about the legends who have made the walk toward the clubhouse and the claret jug, it really does give you a sense of where you're at. How about Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke, Tom Watson, Tom Weiskopf? They've all made the walk on this final hole to the claret jug.
And they've all hit great tee shots, and that's really what you need here. There's a bunker for just about every distance you hit the ball. So there's 3 down the left. There's no other way around it but avoiding them. And there's 1 down the right if you try and play it too safe.
Frank, this is a hole, number 18, where you don't want to be in a hurry to get to the clubhouse.
Yeah, there's out of bounds just off the back of this green, so you might want to keep that in the back of your mind. Don't go long.
Yeah, OB is just steps from the clubhouse. 135 yards to the hole location, sitting very nicely in that fairway. Not a gimme, but well within his range. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
He'd love to get this one. Big putt for birdie. Well, we're ready to play here at the par 4 first. 370 yards, spectacular water views on the right, relatively open fairway. Frank, it seems like the ideal setting to get this round started.
It is. It seems like a soft par 4, but you've got to avoid the 2 bunkers on the left as well as the 2 on the right.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up. There's something about a well-hit shot.
Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Just to tap in to finish the hole.
Great start.
Frank, they call this second hole Black Rock. They also call it the most heavily bunkered hole on the entire course. What do you have to do to stay away from them?
Well, it plays in the same direction as the first hole. So the prevailing breeze normally off the right. Some bunkers in play either side. Really just let the ball go to ground, let it run out. There's 11 bunkers in total on the second hole.